Hi, day 32 and we're coming up to 5 weeks post-op in a couple of days, and I was talking to an old boy at the very first knee class that I went to, and he said something magical would start to happen and I'd turn another corner at about 5 or 6 weeks, and I think he was right. So something really interesting started to happen today. Now, to begin with, I went to the park, to Queen's Park, with Mark because he was running the Invercargill Park Run. I thought I'd go out because it was forecast to be a nice day, get me out, and I didn't mind sitting in the park because I quite like that park. There's lots of benches around. I wouldn't need to walk far before I found another bench, and I could sit and watch the runners come past as well. Now, here was the park this morning. So as you can see, it was a lovely sunny day, and I decided upon a thing. I'm going to need to make a plan because I'm sitting here watching all the runners go past on the park run. Running is something I'm never ever going to be able to do again. So it's like watching my life go past. So I'm going to have to make a plan as to what my new goal might be that I can do post-knee replacement when I'm back fit again. I'm not sure, I'll have to give it a thought. Mark wants to do it next week, pushing me around in a wheelchair. What do you reckon? Shall I let him? So, casting that aside for a second, I decided to walk from bench to bench, and then when Mark came past me the last time, I decided to try and find the finish line. The park is not that big, it's not going to take me that long to get to wherever it is, even though I'm slow. And I was strolling down the path to get to the finish line, and I suddenly realised my hamstring tendon had stopped screaming at me, and it wasn't actually hurting. I was quite actually amazed because it's something that I've lived with since the operation date. So I was like, ooh, how exciting is that? Now, the pain is not completely gone, but it's intermittent and it's not always here, which is a massive step in the right direction. And I can remember that happening when I first noticed that the knee had stopped hurting and I'd stopped having the excruciating 24/7 pain. So I'm hoping that this is another massive step in the right direction for the little hamstring, the hamstring tendon. I'm hoping that that intermittent will become even more intermittent and slowly and gradually calm down. What it actually means is that I can walk like this. Which looks pretty normal to me. Now, I'm feeling really pretty excited. I have not until this point ever been able to even contemplate driving a car. Now, I've been problem solving this whole thing, and I went and sat in my own car, which has sat in the garage for 5 weeks and not gone anywhere. We have been using Mark's car, which, although it's got longer leg room, has got a lower seat. So that means I need more knee bend to get my foot in because the seat is a lot closer to the same level as the foot plate. I sat in my own car to see whether it was the same because I don't recall it being like that. Now, the seat in my car is an awful lot higher. There's not as much knee room, and the physio actually suggested this to me, elevating yourself if you haven't got enough leg room so that you don't have to have as much knee bend. So I sat in the passenger seat of my car and discovered it was a lot easier than sitting in the passenger seat of Mark's car. So that got me thinking, what about the driver's seat? So I was really curious to see whether I could actually get behind the wheel of a car. This is the first time that I have sat in my car since the op. Look what seat I'm sitting in. Now, I was really dying to see whether I could get my knee bent enough to get my foot on the pedal, and we've been studying the two cars, and the seats in my car are a lot higher up off the foot plate than the seats in Mark's car. So that makes the knee bend a lot easier because I'm a lot more elevated. Look at this, I'm really feeling quite excited. So now all I need is the physio to give me clearance and for me to get this knee bend to 90. And I'm up and away. And my next goal after that is the bicycle. But you know, I've been problem solving this too, and I'm actually wondering if my mountain bike has got a different angle on it and less knee bend. So I'm going to try that tomorrow. Watch this space. Now, I've got to say, I'm feeling pretty freaking stoked right now about the fact that I can get into the driver's seat and I can press the 2 pedals. Now, twisting my foot from one to the other is okay. Now, I wouldn't want to do it too much. I wouldn't want to drive too far. But you know what? Today is the first day that I've actually thought driving might even be possible soon. So how cool is that? Aside from all that excitement, I've still been doing my flexion exercises, I've still been doing my heel slide exercises, and I can still keep getting that same degree of bend that I could before, and each time I do it, it gets slightly easier, and I can sit in a car for about 20 to 25 minutes in Mark's car, which needs more knee bend, before it starts to give me trouble, and I need to get out and walk around. So I'm feeling quite hopeful that give me another week, and that's when it's 6 weeks post-op. I'm hoping that the physio will assess me and that driving will actually be possible. Although working full-time I don't think will be possible, but driving just might be, which means I'm not stuck here.